Hello and welcome to A Cup of Tea with Dr. Z, where we share everyday stories with you, everyday women. Are you ready to hear heart-to-heart key issues that we all face, no matter where we are in the world? So grab your cup of tea and let's welcome your host, author, international speaker, reinvention strategist, and woman that's full of faith in God and mankind, Dr. Zena Arinzi.
Hello, everyone. Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Zena Arinzi. It's lovely to be in your front room, in your space, in your sitting room, in your office, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to A Cup of Tea with me, Dr. Z. Lovely to meet you. Today we have a powerful episode. Today is episode 13, and I hope you've got your beverage with you, whether it's a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, maybe you like water, maybe you like a little bit of alcohol. I won't tell anyone if you don't. Whatever it is, just relax because I have a fantastic guest that I'm going to speak to you about. But before I do that, I want to tell you a little bit more about why I do this. A Cup of Tea with Dr. Z, myself, started almost a year ago, December the 8th to be specific, 2023. And it's just my way of spotlighting amazing women, everyday women, extraordinary women all over the world who are doing extraordinary things. You might be sitting down in your sitting room with your children in the park. You might be at school. You might be stuck in traffic. Your boss might be giving you a hard time, or you might be having an argument with someone, your better half. And you might be thinking, oh, no one really hears me. I'm invisible. I'm not extraordinary. Everyone else is extraordinary, but not me. And I'm here to tell you that you are extraordinary. And I might be coming to you very soon. So get ready. You might be the next person sitting next to me to be interviewed. So I do this because I really want to spotlight women. I believe that women are our future. They are today. I believe that without women, we wouldn't have the world that we have. Well, without women, we wouldn't have the world we have right now. It would be 10 times worse. And we know that the world we have is not as great as it could be. But also, women, not just as nurturers, not just as people that carry children and carry the leaders of tomorrow. We are the next of decision makers. They think that they make decisions, but we kind of guide them and all that. More importantly, women, without a woman in your life, this world will not move forward. So it's important to me that I don't care whether you have imposter syndrome or whether you haven't been celebrated, you haven't been validated, you're having a hard day. I don't care what you're going. I don't mean that sounds really kind of insensitive, but what I'm trying to tell you is that you are extraordinary. You are enough. For the fact that you're listening to me right now, you're listening on the replay. I don't know where you are. You might be on LinkedIn, you might be on YouTube, you might be on Facebook, or you might be listening to this, or during the replay, or even next year, 2 years time, or even when I'm dead. But I want you to remember that you heard it here. Yes, you, with your cup of tea, with your cup of coffee, hot chocolate, whatever you're drinking, you are extraordinary. You are a phenomenal, extraordinary woman. That's who you are. Now, I'm going to tell you about my amazing guest. Fantastic. When I first met her, she blew me away. But if I tell you how I met her, that's going to take us to another show. So we'll talk about that another day. But her name is Jennifer Ballard. She's all the way in San Diego, California, I think. If I got that wrong, my geography is a bit rubbish. And when I bring her in from the green room, she can correct me. But her name is Jennifer Ballard, and she is a multi-passionate individual. She really is passionate. She's so full of life. She lifts you up. She encourages you. She's very unassuming, very humble. And she has so much sensitivity to the world around her. She loves global cultures, and she's traveled to so many different countries around the world, really making sure that she's put her mark with regards to social impact issues. She's led a career discovering and analyzing and bringing to life the messages and words and images. I'm reading it from my phone. Images that move people through marketing, specializing in event promotion and content management. Has also led a marketing team for a global brand. She now heads up, the brand. She's now the brand director of a global organization that is known for massive transformation for women just like me and other people. And she's very, very insightful. She's encouraging. when she's not doing what she does on stage and around the world, she's also has this fantastic passion project called the Joy Scouts. The Joy Scouts. You can tell that she's a scouter. She's, had children. She went through the whole scouting history with the children and all that. Led scouts as well. She's a scouts mom. And when she's not doing that, she draws talent from teaching people how to dance hip hop. In the gym, she does cardio and all that. And I'm like, yeah, you need to teach me because I have 2 left feet. And you wouldn't think so. I mean, I'm black. I'm supposed to know how to dance, but I can't. And I'm African. I can't even, I have no rhythm. I don't know. I can't believe I said that on camera. But anyway, forget about that. I need to bring in my amazing, phenomenal guest into the green room, from the green room into my room with you. So give me a second. Drum roll. Hello, and welcome, Jennifer. Hey,
hi, Dr. Z. It's so
darling,
good to
how are
see
you? So
you.
wonderful to see you as well. How are you?
I am doing great. I
Oh
just
my
got back from a conference this week. My boss, my company puts on a conference, and it's so exciting. So much energy in the room. So many fantastic people I got to meet, and we all. It was just wonderful to have time, real face-to-face time together.
I can
And
feel the
next
energy.
time you have to come and be there.
Oh no,
I was in LA.
I'm there in November. I'm there in November live, not virtually live. But anyway,
Yes.
thank you so much. It's lovely to have you. I mean, for those of you that are joining, if you have any questions or you have any comments, let us know. I'll make sure that we see you on stage, on our little stage here. But Jennifer, it's lovely to have you with me. Thank you so much for gracing this fantastic invitation. And I just have to say that every time I see your smile, it lifts me up. It really lifts my spirits, it lifts me up. I mean,
Aw,
that
thank
lifts my
you.
spirits, but you're the second thing in my life that lifts my spirits. So it's lovely to have you. And I know
Thank you.
you're in San Diego, and I know, what time is it there?
It is 11 a.m. on Friday.
11 a.m. Oh my days. And it's just gone 7 p.m. on Friday as well in London. Oh my days. What's your weather like?
It's a beautiful sunny day in San
Oh,
Diego.
I hate you.
As usual. It's the
I
best
hate
place in
you.
the world. I
I
love it.
hate you. We kind of have some kind of sun, but not really. It's still a little bit cold. I don't know why. But before I say, do you want a cup of tea? Because I can pour you.
Why, sure.
All right. Okay.
I have a tea set from Japan.
Oh,
I actually bought this
fantastic.
for my grandparents.
Oh my days. Ooh, I love that. I think yours is posher than mine. Okay.
Isn't that beautiful?
All
Isn't
right,
that
you
beautiful?
proved yours.
Yeah. And,
All right, let's both pour our cup of tea then.
all right. Let's
I was
do
gonna
it.
pour you yours. No, I'll pour mine. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Well,
All right.
now we can start. If you're watching,
Cheers.
please make sure you've got your own cup of tea as well.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Delish.
Now, Jen. One of the things I love about you, and people are asking what's the name of the show, it's called When One Door Opens, a massive global gate opens instead. And that's what we're going to talk about. Explore that. We're going to explore that. So, Jen, tell me a little bit about your journey. Now, I know you're a Scouts mom. I know you've got lovely sons. You've got a wonderful husband, supportive husband. I know you're so phenomenal when it comes to marketing. You're the marketing guru that I never knew I needed, and all that. But I know it wasn't always like that. I mean, you always had those skills, but it wasn't always recognized. And I just want you to tell me a little bit about your journey.
Yes, thank you. Yes, your intro really resonated with me, talking to everyone who feels unseen and unrecognized, because I have been there. So when people look at me now, they see an enthusiastic, creative, talented person with a big smile, like you said, as bright as the sunny San Diego sky up above me. I've got an MBA. I have a glamorous job in marketing, working for a celebrity. Woo! Very cool. I'm there. I've made it. I live a life of adventure and fun, really. I teach dance fitness, which is my happy place. I've been to 27 different countries. I even lived in Japan, like I said, with my tea set that I bought for my grandparents. But what people may not know about me is that I let fear and complacency and staying in my comfort zone chained me to a job in the past that crushed my confidence and really smothered my spirit. It had been great at first. I lived every stay-at-home mom's dream scenario for returning to work. Actually, I had volunteered for a conference and then I made a good impression there and I got a job offer out of it. Yes, it was awesome. Yeah, I mean, total dream scenario. I showed up that Monday with my new clothes, and my old skills. And I was really eager to learn everything I'd missed in the decade that I had been home with my kids. Don't worry about it, my new boss said. I'll teach you everything I need to know. Awesome. He was super supportive. That was great. And I worked hard and I learned and I challenged myself and always learning, always moving, always reading, always absorbing everything around me. And then after a few years, I did catch up. I caught up with the 10 years. Marketing changed a lot from the year 2000 to 2012.
Mhm.
Just a bit. This little thing called the internet,
Yes.
took over everything.
Yes.
So, and he was great. He got me caught up. But after a few years, I was caught up. And then I realized he can't teach me everything anymore because I already know a lot. He gave me a promotion and a big raise. I was a manager. Woo, woo, woo. But then he didn't really let me manage. He kind of still had me in that box of, the stay-at-home mom who he has to teach everything.
Mhm.
I shared ideas and opinions, but I always seemed to get no's. My ideas, I didn't feel like my ideas were listened to. And I didn't realize over time, I was there for a decade. I didn't realize through that time that it was slowly sucking all the satisfaction and self-confidence out of my soul.
Wow.
So eventually I kind of stopped offering my opinions. I stopped trying to implement my new ideas because I always got no's. I just kind of, did my job, and it was easy. I knew what I was doing. I stopped growing. And then one October day changed everything. It was a Tuesday after a 4-day weekend. Not a good 4-day weekend. It was for a funeral.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, my cousin's funeral,
Wow.
my age.
Wow.
A few weeks from diagnosis, he was gone. So I
Wow.
was suffering from that, the whole, oh my gosh. So I was actually glad to get back to my job that day, that Tuesday. But as soon as I got there, I heard the words nobody wants to hear. We have to let you go, Jen. Wow. Yeah, that was awful. It was a shock. I couldn't believe it. I was there 10 years of loyalty, 10 years of building that marketing department, 10 years of training everyone there, including the new director who had said those words to me. We have to
Wow.
let you go.
Wow. Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Those words on top of that weekend, that funeral, really started me on a downward spiral of confidence crushing, soul smothering, existential, what have I even done with this life kind of feelings of worthlessness and desperation and depression. If they didn't want me, who would?
Yes.
After all that time,
Yes.
I felt humiliation. And then 4 grueling months of job hunting were nothing but frustration. I talked to every connection. I spent several hours a day on LinkedIn, over 500 applications.
Wow.
Nothing but rejection.
Wow.
Would I ever fit in? I don't know. My family felt a lot of tension and we were stretched really thin. We were ready to list the house out of desperation. And I just continued this downward spin until my husband stepped in and he kind of made an intervention. He said, release yourself from those obligations that you're feeling. Give yourself permission.
Yes.
So I took a couple days, took a little kind of mental vacation away from the job search. I lowered my salary expectation and I began my reinvention. I realized that I had to let go of that driving need that I had to prove them wrong.
Yes.
Finding a better job at a bigger company with a
Yes.
better title and more
Yes.
money and
Yes.
all the things, right?
Yeah.
So I changed my mindset. I realized that I wanted to find a place where I would be happy, where I could enjoy the culture and the people and thrive and grow and learn something new. And once I made kind of that mindset shift, I did. I found a new job. And it's one where I actually get to help other people like me find their confidence and reinvent themselves and feel motivated and get recognition for what they bring to the world. This
Yeah.
company is awesome and they do wonderful things, and I get to be a part of it. And I started that new job 3 days before the deadline we had given ourselves to list the house.
Wow. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, Jesus.
It was amazing, just meant to be. And I learned that lesson. I learned that if I change my mindset, from what I learned that it did for me and the amazing thing that I saw happen. So now I'm committed. I encourage myself to keep learning, never stop learning and growing and reinventing yourself. And I try to exemplify that and teach other people to do that as well. So it can happen.
It can happen. I
So,
absolutely love that, because there's so many. Thank you so much, Jen. This story, I like the way, you took us down,
Yeah.
and I was going down with you, and
it
then
was awful.
I can imagine how, how desperate and sad and, invisible and unseen and unworthy you must have felt, putting in the best 10 years of your life. You can imagine, you might be listening right now and you might be a woman returner, because this is something, it might be a woman returner. The kids are now older, you've gone back to work and you've given it your best shot. Women returners are amazing. I've happened to,
it's not easy.
I've happened to line manage quite a few, and they are so passionate. They put their best foot. They don't have sick days. They don't, they like, yes, the kids are at school, I can do this job. And so I can imagine, Jen, you must have put your all plus into that role,
Absolutely.
And, for you to actually not just catch up from the 2000 and then got into 2012 and got all the technology, understood training people in the organization and even training the director who actually gave you those 3 words, we have to let you go, or 4 words, we have to let you go. That must have been devastating for your soul, for your ego, for everything. And I know that there'll be women that are listening to this right now. Perhaps you're in your workplace, perhaps you're even in your job, perhaps you're a coach, perhaps you have your own business and it doesn't look like it's working. You're knocking on the doors. You heard her. This is a woman that has traveled to 27 countries and lived in at least 4 or 5. So, but even with all that, when it's time to crush you, you can be crushed by anyone, but it's important to have the right support network around you. Her husband, he's an absolute star, but not just that, but having, being resilient. I like how you said that you actually sent 500 applications.
Yeah, the number on LinkedIn was over 500 that I had
on LinkedIn. And there might be some of you now, maybe perhaps you're looking for a new role. You've sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe you've got some rejections. You're like, oh, nobody likes me. I'm not unworthy. I'm not good enough for this job, and you give up. 500. So like
I spent my job search. I took it as a full-time job. So 8 to 5, I was at my desk doing job search stuff.
Can you imagine 500? They say that you have to kiss a few frogs before you get, your prince. She kissed 500 frogs, and so I love how you tell the story, because it's something that any woman around the world will be able to resonate with, depending on where you are in your life. Maybe you've been crushed by those 5 words, we have to let you go, or perhaps you've had an appraisal at work and they've told you that you don't even meet expectations. Perhaps you've sent, your goods or your services to a supplier, to a buyer, and they've asked for a refund, or they don't like, or you've gone to one of these exhibition things where you can talk about all the trade exhibition. You've put so much money in it and still you're not getting any sales. Or perhaps you're just with your children and you've done all that you can. Because I'm a mum, so I that really resonates with me. You've put all that you can in your children's life. You've loved them, you've bought them, you've been manipulated by them, you've done all sorts of things, and then they're nowhere to be found. Perhaps that might be you, and perhaps maybe your children are not speaking. I don't know where you are, but I want you to know, with resilience, with the right mindset shifts, you can reinvent yourself. And that's, I know I'm the reinvention queen, but you've heard another version, which is a very, very good example. Oh, look at this. Good evening, Choma. Lovely to see you. Oh, you like the hair? Thank you. Don't play to my vanity. You know what I'm like. But thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. So it's really important that when you get bad news, whatever that bad news is, you've got to pull on that reservoir of resilience. And even if you don't have it, make sure you have the right people around you so that you can pull up that reservoir of resilience. Life will give you lemons. I wish I could say, well, I'm a Christian and the Bible tells us that, count it all joy when you go through diverse trials. So you're going to have something. I don't know what yours is going to be. And I'm not wishing you any kind of bad luck or anything. I don't believe in luck. I'm not wishing you any bad stuff or anything. But that's life. That is really life. We're going to go through things. 2 weeks ago, I remember I shared about, the burns accident I had. And as confident as I am, as amazing, dare I say I am, it took me out.
You are amazing.
It took me out. Thank you. It took me out from February till about, let's say May. I couldn't do the show. So never underestimate the impact of the wrong words in your life. Never. Don't say, oh, I can get over it. I know Jennifer personally, and when in another group, the Dash Dancers, and I'll quickly say Dash Dancers, hi Dash Dancers, if you're watching us wherever you are, hi Elaine, it's, you really need to have the right people around you. I was really upset, really, really upset with how I was feeling. And I kept on being told, give yourself some grace. So it doesn't matter how tough you think you are, or how soft or introverted you think you are, wherever you are on the emotional spectrum, give yourself some grace and have the right people around you. And if you can't find the right people, go on, podcasts like this, go on YouTube. There's so many resources, but don't do life alone, even if you are alone.
Yes.
And Choma just said that.
Do something that makes you happy. Find your happy place. Find some people to surround you. Going to my dance fitness class that I go to, it just brings me energy, the endorphins. It's an escape for a little while and it recharges my batteries. Yeah, I love that. And during this job search, I have another really good story during this job search. So I'm an 80s girl all the way. My very favorite singer from the 80s is Bryan Adams. Oh. And so right around the time that I lost my job, I saw an advertisement pop up on LinkedIn or Facebook somewhere for Bryan Adams concert. He was going to be playing in Las Vegas on my birthday in January. I'm like, okay,
January baby, report here. Sorry.
That's right. I'm like, that's my goal. I'm going to get a job, and my reward for finding a new job by January. This was like November. So I gave myself 3 months. The end of January is my birthday. I said, I'm going to that concert as a reward for getting my new job, right? And so it gets to be the end of November, December, it's into January, I still don't have a job. And my husband says to me, money's really tight, he says to me, okay, what do you want for your birthday? Your birthday's next week. What do you want? I'm like, I don't really need anything. I know money's tight and I don't have a job yet. So just, you can get me this pen that I was looking at or something really small, and I said, we can't afford the thing that I really wanted for my birthday, which was this concert in Las Vegas, which is, a 6-hour drive away. And so he surprised me on my birthday with tickets to the concert, a whole schedule drawn out. I had a job interview that morning. He's like, okay, you're going to go to this job interview and I'm going to go do this thing that he had scheduled. And then we're going to meet here and we're going to drive. And here are the stops for.
Oh, I don't know what's happening to our internet. I don't know. I don't know if you guys can still hear me. Oh, thank you so much, Pastor Dorrit.
Filling up the car.
Okay. Yeah.
I can still
I
hear
think
you.
I've got a little bit of connectivity issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I back? Can you hear me now? I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
Fantastic. Yes.
So anyway, it was a really great recharge. It was really nice to have that he had my back, and he was kind of saying in a way, it's okay. I know you're working hard at this and you're down, but let me give you this gift of bringing you up for a little bit. And I was fully recharged. I came back after that concert, came back home, and I was ready, raring to go back to the job search. And that was end of January. And then I started the new job end of February. So in that period of time, I got the interview that made it, that counted. So it was great to recharge. So that's really important, to recharge yourself when you're in that mood and in your head and just feel like you can't get out of it, just to reprogram. It's wonderful.
I mean, it's funny you should say that, and not funny, ha. I remember recently a very good friend of mine, very, 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 very tight friend, childhood friend of mine. She was going through some things, and her birthday, she was 60 a week ago on the 9th. And she was going through some stuff, and we were supposed to go for a photo shoot and all that. And about 2 weeks before the time, she said, "You know what? I just want to cancel my birthday.
Oh,
I just want to cancel my. I'm not. I'm not like. What don't you think you deserve to be celebrated? You're only 60 once. You're only 40 once. You're only 41, 21 once. And so sometimes life can really hit you that you feel unworthy, because sometimes we kind of wrap up being celebrated with money.
Right.
She was looking at her bank balance, just like you, like most of us. I really can't afford that. No, but it's not about your bank balance. Life is for the living. So are we saying if you don't make the money that you expect to make by a certain time, you're not going to celebrate yourself? Are you? So have we attached money? We have, but we shouldn't attach money to the value that we apportion to ourselves. We shouldn't do that. But but sometimes we have the tendency to do that. I've had situations where I like to dress well, I like to make up, I like to look good and all that. But as I've grown older, I've learned that it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. And you can always reuse your clothes. I mean, the age that I am now, I've got clothes that I will never wear for the rest of my life. I'm thinking, what are they doing? And every time I have to kind of take them out of my wardrobe and out of my garage and give them to, an orphanage or to a charity shop, I'm upset because I know how much money I've spent on those clothes.
Right.
You can't convert those clothes. It's not like gold, And so what I'm trying to say is, let's not look at externals to, use externals to celebrate ourselves or to determine our worth. It's really important that we know the Bible says that we are earthen vessels, we are treasures in the earthen vessels. So whether we have the money, whether we have the job, we have the husband, we have the children, we have whatever it is, whether we even have, dare I say it, we have a terminal disease, which none of us want. But perhaps you may be watching this now or watching it on the replay, perhaps a partner or yourself, and you've been given those words in the hospital. And while you're watching this, or while you're still breathing, you're still alive, celebrate yourself. Even if you've got the tubes in your nose, and celebrate yourself. Even if it's your child, celebrate your child, celebrate yourself. Life can be really hard, really, really hard. And I'm getting tearful. It can be really, really hard. But you have to celebrate yourself. Don't let anything take away your joy. And one of the things you can do is by changing your mindset, which Jennifer talked about, and also making sure that, I said it before, have the right people around you. And this is a good opportunity for, if you've got friends that maybe you haven't spoken to for years, reach out. or you can start new relationships. It doesn't have to be, a childhood friend. You can start new relationships.
Right.
Jen and I we've been in a relationship for just under a year.
Right.
And we feel as if we talk. In fact, we're on WhatsApp. We talk like at least twice a week.
Yes.
So planning all sorts.
Wonderful. Yeah. If you find friends, surround yourself with positive, uplifting people who support you and you support back.
Absolutely.
It makes all the difference. It keeps your mind in the right place, keeps you positive.
It really, really
you
does.
Optimistic.
Absolutely. And sometimes your friends seeing you what you don't see in yourself. I'm not saying you need to have yes people around you. No, you don't.
Right.
You need to have people that can really go beyond. How are you, Dr. Z? I'm fine. They can go beyond the mask that you wear. I'm fine. And really delve down deep and know you're not fine. Oh, hello, Cindy. Lovely, 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 lovely.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Cindy. And so, and really say, and you say you're not fine, and they can go behind that veil that you wear, that mask, and no, Dr. Z's not fine today. Jen's not fine today. Jennifer, Chioma, Elaine, Dorit, they're not fine today because they know you. They've taken the time. And just as people are taking the time to know you, I want you, whatever you're going through, to take the time, be intentional about knowing someone else. And this is not about like, how are you? It's about going way beyond the how are you, to really get under her skin, to know more about her so that you can be there for her when she doesn't even say that she needs you. And I can see our connectivity's gone again because, you're back. I don't know if it's your side or my side.
I think it's my internet. I apologize.
Yeah, all right, no worries. Yeah, and so I was saying that, we need to be intentional about getting out of our comfort zones to stretch that arm of fellowship to other people around the world. It doesn't have to be your next door neighbor. It could be someone in another country. It's really, really important. Now, another question I'm going to ask you, Jen, when you eventually come back, I can see we're having a choppy internet today. Now, bearing in mind that Jennifer Ballard, who is in San Diego in California, has beautiful weather. She has beautiful weather, but her internet's going up and down. And I've got cold weather.
I know. What is this?
Imagine this technology. Can you imagine?
Come on.
Can you imagine? But
we're talking here. Come on, we're having some tea.
They can hear us.
That's fun with my friends around the world. So don't interrupt us.
We are resilient. We
Yes.
believe in resilience. We move forward. Nothing stops us. We are unstoppable. And thank you so much for all of you that are watching right now. You are also unstoppable. Now, Jen, I want to ask you about your experience. Oh, hello, everyone. Yeah. Oh, wow. I want to ask you about your experience in Japan, because that really, I love that story.
Yeah. Well, when I was in 7th grade, I was about, 12 or 13. We had an exchange student through a program in Japan called Labo that is designed to, motivating to teaching Japanese students English. And it was a collaboration with a club we have here in the US called 4-H. And so for a month in the summer in 7th grade, my host sister Tomomi came and stayed with our family and lived American life for a month. And then the following summer, I went and spent a month with her family in Tokyo. And it was just fascinating. And so then fast forward a few years, I'm in graduating high school. I don't know what major to choose. What should I study? And at that time, in the late 80s, Japan Inc. was all over the news. Oh, Japan is taking over the world. We need people who understand various cultures and will be able to negotiate and, keep us strong in the competitive nature of Japan-US relations. So I'm like, okay, cool. I found this major called Japanese Studies. That sounds amazing. I always wanted to go back to Japan. So I majored in Japanese studies with a double in international relations, and I spent my junior year of college in Tokyo, living with another host family, and I saw Tomomi several times while I was there as well. And it was just complete immersion in another culture. It's one of the most different places in the world. Taking off your shoes when you come in the house, and different food and completely different language. My family that I lived with didn't speak very much English, so we were lots of dictionary. This is pre-internet, pre-email. I have my little dictionary about this big. We're looking up words and we're doing sign language and smile and nod. But it was what the most eye-opening thing that struck me the year I lived there was we have all these differences. We have this language barrier. We have different culture, different food, different everything. But at the heart of it, people have exactly the same needs, the same fears, the same problems, the same concerns, the same joy. That was really eye-opening. For a 20-year-old girl. And it really, I think, also gave me a very good foundation for the work I have done since then in marketing, because that's all about appealing to different groups of people and understanding customers and understanding people and communicating in a way that's going to connect with other folks. And so my complete immersion in a completely different culture and my struggle communicating in any method I could, even when words escaped us, I think really provided a good foundation for learning to communicate across all different types of people. So yeah, it was fascinating. I'm so glad I did it. And I would encourage anybody to do as much, travel, and the internet makes it so wide open for everyone to connect. I mean, you and me. Here we are.
Well, absolutely. And, like I said, we speak at least twice a week, minimum.
Yeah.
Twice a week. And this is, and I really want to encourage you, if you're listening right now, whether you're listening right now or you're listening on the replay or you listen to this next year, I really want to encourage you, step out of your comfort zone. Make new relationships with people that don't look like you, don't speak like you, don't, speak a different language. You can even go ahead and learn a new language. Learn a new language. I was talking to my sister the other day. She's learning Spanish. She's about 42, 43. So it's not too late. You could be 60, 70, 80, learn a new language. Can you imagine at 60 years old going to Japan and being in for a year? Oh my days. All I know about Japan, and not much, is obviously sushi and sake, the alcohol. Why would I know alcohol? God, woman of God.
The important stuff.
Help me. So I know sake, I know the geishas, the beautiful women with the white face and the red lips and very graceful. My hairstyle's a bit like a geisha, but
the little
a little bit, yes. So I know a little bit, but I don't know. We don't know enough about the world around us. So it's really important to investigate, explore. It makes us more amenable to other people's cultures and behaviors, and more understanding. It makes us realize, like you rightly said, Maslow's, theory of needs. We all basically want the same thing.
Yes.
In spite of color, race, gender, we all want the same
everything. Absolutely, we're all the same inside.
We're all the same. We're all the same blood. So if I use a knife right now, it's going to be red.
Just like mine.
Same for someone in Japan, same for someone in Russia, Palestine, wherever. It's the same blood. Now, another question I want to ask you, and it's like time really runs out when you're having fun. I know. I don't want to let you go. I can talk to you forever. I want to talk to you about Joy Scouts, because every time you talk about that, I see your eyes light up.
It's so much fun. I'm just getting. I got the new job, and it's really helping heal my soul and give me confidence again. And I was laying in bed one night. I'm like, what can I do? I work for a motivational speaker now, and she just fills people up. She fills their cup. She makes people feel good about themselves. Around the same time as this all happened, my youngest son finished Boy Scouts. I had been a volunteer with Boy Scouts for 16 years. Wow. From the time my oldest was 6, little squirrely little guy, until he turned 18 and got his Eagle. And then my younger son, 4 years younger, same thing. So we were in Scouts for almost 2 decades. I was a volunteer working with all these kids, helping them develop leadership and job skills. And and communication skills and learn presenting, all these great things, and go on campouts and appreciate nature, all this stuff. So, but when my youngest son kind of graduated out of it, he earned his Eagles rank and turned 18, and then they're adults, so they're out. They can't participate anymore. I realized that every Wednesday night that I'd been spending at Scouts, it wasn't just for the kids, it was for me too, because all those other parents were there every Wednesday night. And that was a really good friend group that I only saw on Wednesday nights. And so when that ended and I was no longer seeing them Wednesday nights, I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? You know, we have to now make more of an effort because the Wednesday nights aren't built in to see these friends. And I realized that others who were kind of empty nest age, maybe the kids are grown and don't need you. They're more independent. They don't need you to drive them everywhere anymore. I realize a lot of people are in the same kind of position,
Yes.
the same stage of life, where it's like, who am I now? I don't just identify as mom anymore. All these years, it's just mom. I'm mom. My husband is dad. I'm even calling him dad. It's like, okay, we need to find each other again. I need to find myself again. I need to find my friends again. So can anybody relate to that? You know, are you getting to that stage of life, or have you passed that stage of life where it's like, what next? You know, what do I do now? The kids are doing their own thing. So I'm laying in bed. I just started this new job. I'm gaining the confidence back. And it comes to me, Boy Scouts, Joy Scouts. I'm going to form a club based on the Boy Scout kind of methodology where you earn badges and do activities and learn new things and continue growing and find adventure and meet with your friends. I'm going to form it for women my age, women in this stage of life. So it's still in the formulation process. I haven't quite launched it yet, but I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a community for women to gather online and have, you know, I'm really creative. I love to do fun theme activities and lead events and parties and things like that. So I'm going to create all sorts of activities people can download. Here, download this girls' night. There's a girls' night. Just follow the instructions. It's easy. Same for date nights. Same for self-care. All sorts of things. Bring and then when you do it with some friends, and you'll earn a little digital badge, just like Boy Scouts, right? You get a badge.
I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. You know,
Yeah.
I know there might be people listening now, you know, who are actually in that stage of life. I know I am, where I've got a 23-year-old and a 26-year-old, and they don't need me anymore, or when they need me, I'm like, I haven't got the time. So they kind of need you when they want you, but they don't need, you know, they're living their own life, doing, you know, their own things and all that. And so you really have to use that time differently. You know, it's like you've got your time back. It's your me time. What can you do differently? You know, self-care is fantastic and all that, but you can think about a new initiative, or you can reinvent an initiative, or you can use your passion. When you were speaking, it reminded me, I have a group of friends. We're about 4 of us, and we met when my oldest was at swimming lessons. So we met when she was 4 at swimming lessons, and we became friends because what we used to do is drop the girls off at swimming lessons and then go to an exercise club on a Saturday morning. And as we all, you know, it was called Legs. I don't know if they have something similar in America. It was called Legs, Bums, and Tums. So legs, yes, legs, you know, butts and, you know, stomachs. Obviously, these are problem areas that women always complain about. And so we were all there, you know, doing all that, you know, and we became firm friends. And so even when the girls themselves stopped talking to each other, you know, we didn't. We're still friends today.
That's wonderful.
You know, so you know, you're right. What else can you do? Now, I want you to, as we wrap up, I want you to give some words of wisdom to anyone listening who feels unseen, who feels invisible, who feels belittled, you know, from some sort of situation, whether it's at work like it was for you or some other situation. If you give them some words of wisdom that can really help them move forward, that would be really good.
Yes. Well, I would say, first of all, you are special. You are important. You are unique. God's miracle. And your words mean so much to someone you may not even realize. So, you know, find a way to get that confidence back. find some friends to surround yourself with who are uplifting and positive and optimistic, and see that in you and bring that out in you.
Yes.
And never stop learning, never stop growing and exploring and living adventures. And till the last minute, like you were saying earlier, Dr. Z, to the last minute, just live your life to the fullest, follow your dreams.
Yes.
And never stop dancing.
I love that. Never stop learning, never stop growing, never stop living. Thank you so much, Jen. This has been amazing. I found out when I first started this was supposed to be a 30-minute show, but I realized that when we have so much fun, you just don't want to stop. And
That's not enough time.
Oh, we can go on for, last week we were about 50 minutes, but so I had so much time, very powerful. Oh, thank you so much, Repo. Thank you so much. Let me put some comments here. If anyone has any question before we wrap up, feel free to, let me just put that up for you. We're about to go, but it just occurred to me that someone might have some questions. You can put it in the chat, and we'll make sure that Jen answers. Take everything you can, suck out everything, suck out the life a little bit for her because she's my friend, But yes, any final questions, anything anyone wants to ask, and we can, maybe accommodate one question. And if not, that is fine. Right? No, that is great. Well. Thank you so much, Jen. This has been amazing. Never stop learning. In fact, someone's actually put it there. Never stop learning, never stop living, never stop loving.
I love that, Repo.
Yes, love it. Thank you so much, Jen. I love you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. Oh, big hugs across the world. I will see you someday in person, my friend.
Yes. I'll see. Oh, Janet. Hi, Janet. Hi, darling. I didn't know you.
Janet jumping on. Yes. Oh, all of our Dash Dancer friends.
Oh, yes. This is fantastic. Hi, Dash Dancers. Wherever you're watching from, whether you're watching on YouTube or you're watching in Restream or you're watching somewhere, or you're watching on the quiet, wherever you are, thank you so much. Big hugs to all of you. Janet, love you. Cindy, Repo, Chioma, everyone, Dorrit, Pastor Dorrit, everyone that's been part of today's show. Have a wonderful weekend. Remember, you are special. You are amazing. You are phenomenal. You are incredible. You are worthy. You are enough. Never, ever stop loving, living, and giving.
Absolutely. Boom. Cheers to all of you. Thank you so much, Dr. Z. I can't wait till our next time we talk.
No problem.
And thank you for having me on. Have a wonderful day.
And you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to A Cup of Tea with Dr. Z, your reinvention queen. We hope you've been motivated and inspired to go out there and conquer any obstacles and issues you may face. You can find Dr. Zena on all social platforms. Until next time, remember, you're not alone.